Hi YouTube. I am doing a second part of my 8-month video because I had the baby with me and it was kind of hard to talk about everything I needed to talk about. Okay, talking about breastfeeding, and I was talking about some of the challenges when you're having an 8-month-old who, one of the milestones for 8-month babies is crawling, which he is doing. You know, he's nosy, he's looking around, he's not really into eating, he wants to watch TV, he wants to, any little voice, he'll pop off and start looking in another direction. Like, you know. So, also, I think a huge concern with breastfeeding women, you know, when you start feeding your baby, is constipation. Breast milk, strangely enough, keeps your baby regular. So I didn't really have a big problem with constipation because of the breast milk. It just flushes his system out, and you know, he at his 5 o'clock feeding or his night feedings, whenever he eats at night, he only gets breastfeeding. Not his dinner, but you know, any late feedings. And usually in the morning he go ahead and do number two, so I don't have any problems. So that's a plus. No constipation. But if you do have a problem with constipation with your child, you can always give them a little bit of prune juice and dilute it with a little bit of water, warm it up, and that should help that situation. Also, giving them fruits like bananas in a jar should help them with their constipation. So, if your baby's having problems with constipation, you should try those things. But breast milk really helps constipation, which is a huge problem when you start feeding babies and they have those immature digestive systems. I had some challenges with breastfeeding, especially around 8 months. I wanted to quit, you know, and for the most part, I didn't really want to quit except in the very beginning when it was very painful. You know, it was really painful, and you know, but it got through though. And after the first, I would say month, 2 months, maybe even three, but I believe it was 2 months, there was no pain at all. So if you can make it through that, if you can do childbirth, you can do breastfeeding. Okay. And but I wanted to quit because it just was getting aggravating. But the truth is, if you're going to do formula, it's more, you're creating more work for yourself. You're doing bottles. You know, you're going to have to keep bottles clean and sterilized. You're going to have clean bottles. And I have a hard time keeping bottles clean. And I have a lot of bottles. And it's keeping the bottles clean and sterilized. And I don't even give him bottles that often. You know? He might get a bottle once a day, 3 times in a week when I'm not home, when I'm at school. And those bottles, it seems like they're never clean. Like I never have clean bottles. I don't understand. So, and having to get up at night and do a bottle, ugh, no. So, that's another thing. My biggest fear right now is, you know, he's 8 months and I plan on stopping around 12 months. I did say I was planning on stopping around 6 or 8 months, but I guess I decided to go on. You know, it's not as bad. When they start feeding, it's not bad at all. It's actually, it gets easier and easier. But my biggest fear is that I'm going to gain all of the weight I lost back. I lost 26 pounds so far and I look fabulous. And I'm not looking forward to gaining the weight back after breastfeeding. So if anybody has stopped breastfeeding their child and after a year, you know, if you're finished after a year and you want to tell me some tips, or maybe it won't come back, or if it's a magic month I should go to, but I lost a lot. Oh, I lost the 26 pounds. They say it's not healthy to lose more than a 1.5 pounds, like that's a pound and a half, after 6 weeks. At the first 6 weeks when you're breastfeeding, and you'll probably lose a lot of weight pretty quickly. But after that, losing more than 1.5 is not healthy. You should stick to 1.5. And if you are losing more than 1.5 a week, then you need to intake more calories. Now, I know a lot of the doctors say intake calories, A lot of calories, 2 to 500, which I don't really believe because I don't believe it. I'm not a doctor, but you gain 20 pounds when you're pregnant and you lose 10 pounds right away. And I think the other 10 pounds that you lose is probably, or that you gain is probably to help you breastfeed if you're, to help you be able to breastfeed that extra fat that's on your bodies for breastfeeding. So why take in more calories to maintain that extra weight? No. Now, don't decrease your calories to like low to lose weight. I wouldn't suggest that. But and you shouldn't start trying to lose weight until after 2 months anyway. Because that you run the risk of decreasing your milk supply. So don't try to lose weight. Moderate exercise, walking around the block, walking in the stroller. In your breastfeeding, the weight will just come off on its own. Drink tons and tons of water. And I read another article. It was talking about breastfeeding and losing weight. And instead, because a lot of doctors say you have to intake 500 extra calories. But then it was saying, well, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should focus more on if you're hungry. So I would trust that because your body will tell you if you're hungry or if you're thirsty. And I realized, especially in the very beginning, I was extremely thirsty all the time. I drank and drank and drank and drank and drank. And right now I'm thirsty, even thinking about being thirsty. So, and I didn't really have a lot. I mean, I didn't eat more food, but when I lost 26 pounds, I'm hoping I'm not going to gain it back. And, I do have a goal weight, but I want to lose it. I still have some more weight I want to lose, but I want to do it healthy. I don't want to harm, because you're not going to hurt the baby. Well, I think the reason why you don't want to lose one more than a pound and a half is because it releases a toxin in your body that comes from losing extreme amount of weight quickly. That toxin gets in your body and it gets in your milk supply. So that's why you don't want to lose more than a pound and a half after the first 6 weeks because of the toxin. So stay healthy, stay happy, stay beautiful. You know, if you're having a hard time, you just want to stop, you just want to quit, just keep going, keep pushing through. You can do it. They're 8 months, they're starting to eat, so, you fill them up on food. Watch for constipation once you start feeding them. Breast milks help with constipation. Giving them their fluids, which, I told you already, I was having problems with that myself. But give them their fluids, keep giving it to them, and you're going to be fine. Listen to your body. As far as I know, when you gain so much weight, especially if you were underweight before, underweight women seem to gain about 30 pounds. So you're looking like, oh my God, I'm so huge and everything. Just take it one day at a time and, make healthy choices and don't overexert yourself. Don't do things crazy. Because even now, I feel like, not, my body is not before, I don't feel as strong as I did before I had the baby. Like I was trying to lift the bed. I shouldn't be trying to lift the bed, but not good. Don't overexert yourself. And this part of my body felt like it was going out. So, be very, very careful. And this was only like a month ago, so, and that's like 7 months in. So, be very careful. Keep breastfeeding. Stay hydrated. Eat healthy foods. If you don't eat healthy foods, you're not eating healthy food won't really hurt your baby while you're breastfeeding because your baby will work on your reserves, but it can deplete your reserves, and it's going to harm you in the end. So get your vegetables in, get your fruits in, even if it's canned fruits. I know, just intake it. Try to make sure with every meal you have something green in a vegetable. Try to do both, but if you can't, do one or the other. And drink plenty of water. If you don't like water, do 100% juices and do 50-50 because you need water. And try to kind of wean yourself off of drinking the juices to get water in. And you have any more questions, let me know. Bye. Just waving.